Stop cooking! That's it. That's it. Round 1 is done. Put your utensils of whatever down.
The controllers away, unplug your microphones, disconnect your monitors.
And turn fraps off and close that down OBS, because round 1, ladies and gentlemen, has come to a triumphant end. We have decided the top 12 for round 2 in the classic speedrun championship league.
The ones who go through, the ones who sadly have left us behind, we'll reveal it all for you.
Yes, so today we're going to give you an all-encompassing view of the events of the first round of the 2018 International Spyro Grand Prix. So as we always do, I think it's fitting to start with the group standings. So let's have a look. Whoa, Group A. Well, let's have a look at the moves and shakes in Group A, because if you only watched the roundups and you watched last week's roundup and this week's roundup, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, Nintendo Gen 64, hey, Liam Dess, what the frick is going on with Group A? Well, let's talk about this. First of all, as we know, who's finishing top in Group A? Liam?
Katie Lady, who had an impeccable performance, untouchable, non-defeated, 9-0.
Yes. Well, let me list out the people that Katie Lady has gone on to defeat, which is basically all of Group A. Chris, she beat Chris. Ratchet 5, Vindictive, Liam Udes, Fromondo, King Europe 1, Kiefer, Lyle, Trob. She has a perfect 9-0 record. That is very impressive.
Right, only one other person in the tournament accomplished this. So.
Yeah, only one other person. So there are only 2 people who are undefeated in this tournament. As we move down the list, we have currently sitting on, as of the uploading of this video, 7-1, but I think we can all spoil an upcoming match. Oh. And he'll actually finish on 8-1. Is Chris LBC, who lost to Katie Lady. That was his only loss. And he went on to beat Ratchet 5's Vindictive, Liam Fremond, Christian, which that match will be uploaded.
All the rest, you know.
I think it's pretty obvious he's going to win that match. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Would you like to tell us about Trob?
Trob. All right, let's start here. Now, Trob was third, I think third or fourth in the group standings here throughout the week.
Well, he was actually sitting at 5th place.
5th. Right, and now you can see he's right down the bottom. What happened? Well, he's been disqualified from the tournament, unfortunately.
Yes, Trob made the very poor decision of dropping out at the very last moment, and has wound up on a certain list that you don't want to find yourself on, which I'm going to talk about later. But
so we've forfeited all of Trob's matches and given everyone who we versed a win.
Yeah,
so everyone gets an extra point.
Exactly. Basically, it's as if the group only had 9 participants instead of 10 participants.
Right.
Trob literally dropped out on the second last day of the tournament, and for that, there is literally no excuse, Trob. You are a pathetic person for doing that. Absolutely pathetic. And I have absolutely no sympathy for you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Trob. Now, because of this outcome, we see that Ratchet 5 now has gone up to the 3rd place.
On the 3 spot.
He is untouched now at 3rd. He can't be changed. His only match that hasn't been uploaded yet is his match against King Europe 1. And that will hopefully be uploaded this week. So regardless of whether he wins or loses that match, he's stayed at 3rd place. Now, Liam, what the fuck is happening with 4th place in Group A?
Congratulations to the Stick Kid. I always believe in you, and you made it through the tournament with, what's that, 6 wins, 3 losses.
Yeah, very respectable,
so
actually.
That's actually a really good score. He stuck with it all throughout the tournament, and this is he's a good example for other aspiring speedrunners. Just stick with it.
Yes.
See how you do, and you'll might go through.
And this is where it comes the
Trob decision.
The Trob decision really comes into play here, because Trob dropping out
pushes Stick Kid.
Trob pushing out means that now we have Stick Kid. His only 3 losses were to Ratchet 5, Katie, and Chris. Listen to this list of people he's beaten. This is very impressive. He beat Liam. He beat Fremond. He beat Kiefer. He beat Christian. He beat Lyle. And he also technically beat Trob too. So 6-3. Well done, Stick Kid. You've really earned it. You're in the classic speedrunning championship league.
Right.
All right, now
on to Group B.
This was the most interesting group of the tournament, Group B. Actually, if you look at the top 4, interesting to note that the first place in Group B has the weakest performance of all first place people in the tournament.
He lost a match.
He lost 1 match. Interesting. So let's talk about this. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is Dino Pony Also,
Disqualified.
is disqualified and
He's
has
disqualified.
Is wound up on a certain list here as well.
Out of here.
And Dino Pony is one of those people who was here from the start and took up a place that should have been, you know, maybe a more active and deserving person should have had. So very, very disappointing there, Dino Pony. Now, let's talk about what the finishing was. Let's talk about 4th place. Who finished 4th place in Group B?
A good friend, G4 Video 5, 4th place for him. Really good showing, actually.
Yep, he beat Luke, he beat Dino Pony, he beat Muddy, he beat James, he beat Desert Monkey, he beat Xcal, and he lost to Newen, myself, and Knight and C.
Right, so you have 3 losses, 6 wins.
and 3.
Same as Stick Kids, so yeah.
Same as Stick Kids.
Stick with it, you can do well. That's the lesson we learned today.
Nintendo Gen 64.
Oh, that's you.
That's me. I finished 3rd place in my group with wins over Dino Pony, G4, Muddy, James Jones, Desert Monkey, Knight and C, Xcal, and only 2 losses came from the first 2 people, Newen and Luke. Now, 2nd place. Luke RF44 finishing in 2nd place. The man who could have finished in 1st place.
That's right.
And this is where I want to talk about Muddy Maestro's contributions to this group. Because if you look here, Muddy Maestro, by beating Luke, denied him of a 1st place finish. Because Luke now finishes on 7 and 2 also, the same amount of points as me. And so he's got wins over me, Dino Pony, Newen, James Jones, Desert Monkey, Knight, and C and Xcal, with losses coming to G4 Video 5 and Muddy Maestro. What is going on there? Luke beat the 1st place person in our group. Isn't that interesting?
But he finished 2nd because
and he finishes ahead of me on the head-to-head because he beat me in that one-on-one match. So good job, Luke. You finished 2nd place. A very tough next round for Luke, unfortunately, because of this.
Right.
Now, 1st place is Newen Tox, the most recent addition to our group. But, I mean, he was added, what, 5 weeks ago now? Yeah. Newen Tox with wins over myself, Dino Pony Muddy, G4, James Jones, Desert Monkey, CXL, and Luke. And losses to Luke. There you go. So that's the 4 in Group B.
That's Group B.
Talk about Group C.
Group C. Right. So from the top here, we have Toto Zigum, the other person who finished undefeated, 9 and 0. So that was really good from him. Then we have Yes Wally, who only lost to Toto.
And lost to Toto. And this is
that's a really good run.
Almost a mirror of Group A, because as you go down the list, you go 9 and 0, 8 and 1, 7 2, 6 3, 4 5.
All fourth places finished 6 and 3, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, and all 3rd places I assume will finish 7 and 2 if Ratchet 5 beats Christian.
That's right. So that's
Yes. So Baron Zeph beat Al. He beat Crystal Fissure. He beat Ashley. He beat Noelle. He beat Alice. He beat H Dales and Meow Meow Club 2, finishing in 3rd place. And we thought that it would be closer here between who would be the 4th place in Group C, but because Crystal Fissure ended up on 4 and 5. He ends up finishing 5th, and it's a lot less close than that anyway. So even if Al didn't beat Crystal Fissure, he still would have gone through on 5 and 4, which is quite interesting there. And of course, Al Malloy finishing 4th in Group C.
No disqualification from Group C.
No disqualification.
They all did the right job. It's a good thing.
Which means that in the 6 people to qualify for round 2 for the main bracket are going to be from Group A, Kate Lady and Chris LBC. Group B is Luke RF44 and Newen Tox, or Newen Tox and Luke RF44. Group C, Toto Zigum and Yes Wally 1. All give yourself a round of applause. You're all in round 2. Now, in the Classic Speedrunning Championship League, Liam, who do we have?
We have Ratchet 5 and Stick Kid from Group A. From Group B, we've got Angus and G4 Video 5. And from Group C, Baron Zeph and Al.
Exactly, yeah. Very interesting. Right. I'm actually quite intrigued with both, actually.
So
it's very hard to
predict. Pretty much how we expected it to outcome, I think.
Yeah.
The oldies and the classics and the good speedrunners at the top. So
yeah, the only person I sort of thought would have made it through would have been Crystal Fissure, actually.
Maybe.
I think he's the only big omission there from it. Also, want to special mention Knight and C as well. He actually lost to Muddy Maestro. If he actually had beaten Muddy Maestro, he would have finished in 4th place in Group B.
Over G4 Video 5.
Yeah, because he beat G4 in the head-to-head.
Right.
So really, Muddy Maestro here in the last week upset quite a lot of people by beating them in the head-to-head, which sort of forced them into this spot. So I would say that after round 1's completion, the format of the league, the 10-person league setup, has really been a success. and really interesting outcomes
It's been a boon for us.
It's been a boon.
boon.
Now, it's time to bring back last week's segment.
Right.
If you remember the name of last week's segment, it was You Just Made the List!
Oh.
Because round 1 is over. And now we have a distinct list of people who are permabanned from the ISGP tournaments. Permabanned. That is a harsh term, but what it means is that you are permanently banned from entering our tournaments, the Crystal Fissure Nintendo Gen 64 Spyro tournaments, including ISGP, Spyro Speedruns Cup, and all tournaments that fall under our banner. So after this tournament, we have 4 names of people who we will not be inviting to come back to these tournaments, and I'm going to list these people out.
Right.
I'm going to list out their crimes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say a certain phrase.
I don't want to hear the phrase, but let's go.
Okay. First person is Avado. Avado signed up to the tournament and basically messaged me a couple times. He sent in a picture of me. This is his picture here. So this is what he looks like. And then nothing. Never heard from the guy ever again. He never messaged me once to do a match, or never messaged anyone in the group, never contributed to a group discussion. And that's not the kind of person we want in these tournaments, Avado. So for basically being radio silent and not contributing in any way, shape, or form, Avado, you just made the list. Okay, alright, next person is MC Jaga. For obvious reasons too. He basically never messaged anyone apart from his... he filled out the Google form, joined the server, nothing. MC Jaga, for signing a Google Doc and joining a tournament you had no intention of actually participating in, you just made the list! Okay, next person, and we mentioned him in this video, but he did 3 matches and then went completely silent, told us he had university work on which prevented him from doing races, told us he had completed the university work, people tried to arrange matches with him, and then he went completely silent. From Group B, Dino Pony, you just made the list! Okay, and the last person, for being a complete crybaby and deciding that you can't be bothered with these tournaments and you can't be bothered with our tournament, and getting all the way to the last 48 hours and deciding that you don't want to compete anymore and throwing in the towel and for no discernible reason, okay? And for being, in my opinion, the worst world speedrunning champion of all time, Trob. Trob. You just made the list. Okay, great. So those people are perma-banned from the tournaments. That's Avado, MC Jaga, Dino Pony, and Trob. Don't expect to be allowed back in any of our tournaments, okay? Okay? Capiche? You got it. Okay, right. Now, let's talk about match of the week. And end this video on a positive note. So do you want to give me the match of the week?
Right, let's switch gears here. Something more happier to end off the last week of the ISGP roundup.
Last week of round 1 roundup.
Round 1 roundup. For me,
your match of the week, please.
My match of the week from my very own Group A, featuring my very 2 good friends, Ratchet5 and Chris LBC. That's my match of the week.
I'm thinking, the way you said that.
I was going to announce it. No, that's it for me. Very interesting intro and outro especially. Give that one a watch if you haven't.
Yes.
If you have watched it, watch it again.
Yeah, watch the match again. In fact, watch all of our matches again. Yeah. Please do. And buy some merchandise as well. Now, yeah, I like that match too. It was a competitive match actually. Ratchet5 made some really specific steps. And this match had been dragging its feet for quite a while, and I didn't even think it would ever happen, but it did happen.
It happens. It existed.
So that's great. Now, my match of the week is from Group C. It was a very closely contested race between 2 of our most popular female competitors. It was Alice Clark versus Ashley, XX Ashley 39. Really enjoyed that one. Really close. Even though I think the picture I'm going to use to depict the race shows that they're basically neck and neck. If you haven't checked that one out, I highly recommend you do. Well worth the watch, and not too long either. But that was something I noticed this week. A lot of short races, yeah. People wanted to get their matches done, and done they were. Now let's talk about the next week. So round 1 is officially ended. This is the conclusion of the group stage. We won't be seeing Liam in any more races, unfortunately. But you know, we'll do the roundup because Round 2 will be starting very, very shortly. In fact, we will be taking a small break for about 5 days, and round 2, that'll be the Classic Speedrunning Championship League and the round 2 proper. Those will be starting on June 15th, which is this coming Friday. In fact, we'll be uploading the matches then, and you'll be able to see who's racing who, and then as soon as those videos are uploaded, you can start your matches. What are we going to do in the meantime?
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, just because just because round 2 hasn't started yet, doesn't mean there'll be no videos this week. We will be seeing another episode of the ISGP talk. That'll be going up this week. There will be some, like maybe a special ISGP exhibition match between 2 very popular people. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be trialing a tag team format as well, so you might be seeing a tag team match sometime this week as well. And also, the premiere of part 1 of our upcoming feature film release, which is entitled Verbatim. You may have seen some teasers in the previous weeks of the roundup. So that'll be coming up this week as well.
We're not in these shills for merchandise, we're shills for our films.
So we've released a film, and you'll be able to watch part 1 of that. Really excited to release that. We started work on that about 2 years ago, and finally it's ready for public consumption. So look forward to seeing that. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you very much, guys. I can't thank you enough for those of you who participated. Liam,
I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun too. Look forward to doing this again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. We will be doing another ISGP in the future, so make sure you pay attention to that. And yeah, round 1 was I think a resounding success. 8 weeks and over 100 matches done is a very impressive feat. You all deserve a big round of applause for that. Thank you. And yeah, round 2 will be starting in 5 days. Have a bit of a breather. If you're planning any holidays, take them now, and we'll be starting back with round 2 on June 15th, 2018. So for Liam, Des, and Nintendo Gen 64, as we always say, farewell for now, but not forever. See you later, guys.